Have you ever walked into a job interview, opened your mouth to speak English, and suddenly your mind went completely blank? Or worse, you said something that sounded totally weird, and the interviewer just stared at you? Yeah, me too. That awkward silence, it's the worst. But here's the good news. Today, we're going to fix that. By the end of this episode, you'll know exactly what to say in an English interview to sound confident, natural, and like a total native speaker. So stick around.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to our videos. You're listening to Mr. Englishman. I'm Max, and with me here is the always amazing Lily.
Thank you, Max. And wow, what a topic today. Job interviews in English. This is something that stresses people out so much.
Oh, absolutely. I remember my first interview in English. I was so nervous I forgot my own name for like 3 seconds.
Wait, seriously?
Yes, the interviewer said, "Tell me about yourself," and I just sat there like a frozen statue. My brain was screaming, but my mouth wasn't working.
That's actually really common. A lot of English learners know the grammar, they know the vocabulary, but when the pressure's on, boom, everything disappears.
Exactly. So today we're going to teach you the exact phrases, tips, and tricks that native speakers use in interviews. And trust me, once you know these, you'll feel so much more confident.
Yes, and here's the best part. We're going to keep it simple. No fancy, complicated English, just natural, real phrases that actually work.
Perfect. So whether you're preparing for your first interview or you just want to sound more professional, this episode is for you.
All right, let's dive in.
Okay, so let's start at the very beginning. You walk into the interview room. What's the first thing you should say?
Good question. A lot of people think you should immediately start talking about your skills or experience, but actually, the first thing is much simpler.
Right, you need to greet the interviewer, and this is super important because first impressions matter a lot.
Absolutely. So here's what native speakers say. When you walk in, smile, make eye contact, and say, "Hello, it's nice to meet you. Thank you for having me."
Perfect. Let's break that down. It's nice to meet you. This is polite, friendly, and natural. And thank you for having me shows gratitude. It makes you sound professional.
Exactly. Now, if you want to sound even more natural, you can add their name, like, "Hello, Mr. Smith. It's nice to meet you. Thank you for having me."
Yes, using their name is a great touch. It shows respect and that you're paying attention.
Okay, so listeners, try saying that out loud right now. "Hello, it's nice to meet you. Thank you for having me."
Go ahead, pause the video if you need to. Practice it a few times. Get comfortable with it.
Because when you practice now, it'll come out naturally in the real interview.
Exactly. All right, so you've greeted them. Now they're probably going to ask you to sit down.
Right. And here's a super simple but polite response. When they say, "Please have a seat," you just say, "Thank you."
That's it. Just thank you. You don't need a long sentence. Simple is better.
And then you sit down, keep good posture, and get ready for the big first question.
Which is almost always,
Tell me about yourself.
ding, ding, ding. Correct. This is the most common interview question in English, and it's also the one that makes people panic the most.
Oh, totally. Because it's so open-ended. Like, what do they want to know? Your whole life story, your hobbies, your favorite food?
Right, but here's the secret. They don't want your whole life story. They want a short, professional summary of who you are and why you're a good fit for the job.
Exactly. So here's a great formula. Start with, "Sure, I'd be happy to." This shows you're confident and ready.
Then you say, "I'm currently working as," then add your job, and I have number years of experience in, then add your field.
Nice. So, for example, I'm currently working as a marketing assistant and I have 3 years of experience in digital marketing.
Perfect. Then you add 1 or 2 key skills or achievements, like, "I'm really passionate about social media strategy, and I recently helped my team increase our engagement by 40%.
Wow, that sounds impressive, and it's specific. That's important.
Definitely. Don't just say, I'm good at my job. Give a real example.
And then finish with why you're interested in this new opportunity. Like, I'm excited about this position because I'd love to work with a creative team and take on new challenges.
Beautiful. So altogether, it sounds like this. Sure, I'd be happy to. I'm currently working as a marketing assistant, and I have 3 years of experience in digital marketing. I'm really passionate about social media strategy, and I recently helped my team increase our engagement by 40%. I'm excited about this position because I'd love to work on more innovative projects and collaborate with a talented team.
That's so natural and clear, and it's only a few sentences.
Exactly. Short, focused, and professional. That's the key.
All right, listeners, your turn. Think about your own job or experience. How would you answer, "Tell me about yourself"? Take a moment and practice saying it out loud.
And don't worry if it's not perfect. Just practice. The more you say it, the easier it gets.
Okay, quick pause. We just covered the opening, how to greet the interviewer and answer, "Tell me about yourself." But here's the thing.
What?
Most learners make one huge mistake in interviews, and it makes them sound really unnatural.
Ooh, what is it?
We're going to tell you in just a second, but first, let's talk about some other common interview questions. Stick with us.
All right, so after tell me about yourself, what comes next?
Usually, they'll start asking about your strengths and weaknesses.
Oh yes, the classic. What are your strengths?
Right, and this is actually a great opportunity to show off a little, but you have to do it the right way.
Exactly. You don't want to sound arrogant, but you also don't want to sound too modest.
So here's how native speakers do it. You start by saying, "I think one of my biggest strengths is," and then you name a skill.
For example, I think one of my biggest strengths is problem solving. I'm really good at finding creative solutions when things go wrong.
Perfect. And then you back it up with a quick example. Like, for instance, in my last job, we had a project that was falling behind schedule. I suggested a new workflow, and we finished 2 weeks early.
Nice. So you name the strength and then you prove it with a real story.
Exactly. That makes it believable and impressive.
Okay, so that's strengths. Now, what about weaknesses? This one is tricky because people don't want to admit something bad about themselves.
Right. But here's the thing. Everyone has weaknesses, and interviewers know that. So if you say, "I don't have any weaknesses," you sound fake.
Totally. So what you do instead is choose a real weakness, but show that you're working on it.
Exactly. So you might say, "I'd say one area I'm working on is public speaking. I used to get really nervous presenting in front of large groups."
Good. And then you add, but I've been taking a public speaking course and I've already noticed a big improvement. I actually led a presentation last month and it went really well.
Perfect. So you admit the weakness, but you show that you're proactive and improving.
Right. That's what interviewers want to see. Self-awareness and growth.
Exactly. Okay, listeners, think about one of your strengths and one weakness. How would you explain them in English? Give it a try right now.
And remember, keep it short and honest. That's the key.
All right, so earlier I mentioned that most learners make a huge mistake in interviews. Want to know what it is?
Yes, tell us.
Okay, so here it is. When the interviewer asks a question, a lot of people just give a short one-word answer, like yes or no.
Oh, that's a big problem.
Huge, because in English interviews, you're expected to explain your answers. You need to give details, examples, and show your thinking.
Right. So if they ask, do you work well under pressure? You can't just say yes.
Exactly. You need to say, "Yes, I do. In my previous job, I often had tight deadlines, and I learned how to stay calm and prioritize tasks. For example, last year, I managed 3 projects at the same time, and I delivered them all on schedule."
Perfect. So you answer the question and then you expand on it with a real example.
Exactly. This shows you can communicate well, and it gives the interviewer a better picture of who you are.
So remember, listeners, never give one-word answers. Always explain and give examples.
Yes, think of it like this. Every question is a chance to tell a little story about yourself.
I love that. Okay, so let's practice a few more common questions.
Sounds good. How about, why do you want to work here?
Oh, this is important. You need to show that you've researched the company.
Right. So a good answer might be, I've been really impressed by your company's commitment to innovation. I love that you're always trying new ideas, and I think my skills in creative problem solving would be a great fit for your team.
Nice. So you compliment the company and then you connect it to your own skills.
Exactly. And you can add, I'm also excited about the opportunity to grow and learn from such a talented team.
Perfect. That shows enthusiasm and humility.
Yes. Okay, here's another one. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Ah, the future question. This one is tricky because you don't want to sound like you're planning to leave the company in 2 years.
Right. So a good answer is something like, in 5 years, I see myself growing within this company. I'd love to take on more responsibility and maybe move into a leadership role if that opportunity comes up.
Great. So you show ambition, but you also show loyalty to the company.
Exactly. And you can add, but more than anything, I just want to keep learning and contributing to the team's success.
Beautiful. That's humble and professional.
All right, listeners, think about how you'd answer these questions. Why do you want to work here? And where do you see yourself in 5 years? Practice out loud. Seriously, it helps so much.
Okay, it's time for a quick role play. Lily, you're going to be the interviewer and I'll be the candidate. Listeners, pay attention to the phrases we use.
All right, I'm ready. So, Max, thank you for coming in today. Please have a seat.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here.
Wonderful. So, let's start with an easy one. Can you tell me about yourself?
Sure, I'd be happy to. I'm currently working as a software developer, and I have about 5 years of experience in web development. I'm really passionate about creating user-friendly applications, and I recently led a project that improved our website's loading speed by 30%. I'm excited about this position because I'd love to work on more innovative projects and collaborate with a talented team.
That's great. So, what would you say is one of your biggest strengths?
I think one of my biggest strengths is my attention to detail. I'm really good at catching small errors before they become big problems. For example, in my last job, I found a bug in our code that could have caused a major issue for users. I fixed it before it went live, and my manager really appreciated that.
Excellent. And what about a weakness? What's one area you're working on?
I'd say one area I'm working on is delegating tasks. I used to try to do everything myself because I wanted it to be perfect, but I've realized that's not sustainable, especially on bigger projects. So now I'm learning to trust my teammates more and share the workload. It's made me a better team player.
That's very self-aware. Okay, last question. Why do you want to work for our company?
I've been really impressed by your company's focus on innovation and customer satisfaction. I love that you're constantly pushing boundaries and trying new things. I think my skills in problem solving and my passion for technology would be a great fit for your team. Plus, I'm excited about the opportunity to learn from such experienced professionals.
Perfect. Thank you, Max. That was really well done.
Thanks. Okay, listeners, did you hear all those natural phrases? Let's break down a few key ones.
Yes, notice how Max said, I'd be happy to, when I asked him to tell me about himself. That's so polite and natural.
Right, and I also said, for example, a lot. That's because I was giving specific examples to back up my answers.
Exactly. And Max also said, I'd say, when talking about his weakness. I'd say one area I'm working on is, that's a really natural way to introduce a weakness.
Yes, so remember those phrases, everyone. They'll make you sound much more fluent.
Okay, now it's your turn. Imagine you're in the interview. How would you answer those questions? Pause the video and practice saying your answers out loud.
And don't skip this part. Practicing out loud is the only way to get comfortable with these phrases.
All right, so we've covered how to answer questions, but here's something a lot of learners forget.
What's that?
At the end of the interview, the interviewer will usually ask, "Do you have any questions for me?"
Oh, yes, and this is so important. You always need to have questions ready.
Exactly, because if you say, "No, I don't have any questions," it makes you look uninterested.
Right, so what should you ask?
Great question. Here are some safe professional questions you can always use.
Number 1, what does a typical day look like in this role?
Yes, that shows you're trying to understand the job.
Number 2, what are the biggest challenges facing the team right now?
Ooh, I like that one. It shows you're thinking about how you can help.
Number 3, what do you enjoy most about working here?
That's a good one because it's personal. It helps you connect with the interviewer.
And number 4, what are the next steps in the interview process?
Perfect. That shows you're organized and thinking ahead.
So listeners, write down those 4 questions, memorize them, and bring them to your next interview.
Because remember, an interview is a two-way conversation. You're not just answering their questions, you're also deciding if the job is right for you.
Exactly. So don't be afraid to ask questions. It makes you look confident and professional.
Okay, so the interview is almost over. You've answered all their questions, you've asked your own questions. Now what?
Now you need to close strong. This is your last chance to make a good impression.
Right. So when the interviewer says, "Well, I think that's all the questions I have," you say, "Thank you so much for your time today. I really enjoyed learning more about the role and the company."
Perfect. And then you add, I'm very excited about this opportunity, and I hope to hear from you soon.
Yes, that shows enthusiasm and confidence.
And then, as you're leaving, you shake their hand if it's appropriate, and you say, it was great meeting you. Have a wonderful day.
Beautiful, so polite and natural.
And here's a bonus tip. Within 24 hours of the interview, send a thank you email.
Yes, this is so important. A lot of native speakers do this, and it really makes you stand out.
So what do you write in the email?
Keep it short and simple. You can say something like, "Dear Mr. Smith, thank you for taking the time to meet with me today. I really enjoyed our conversation and learning more about the position. I'm very excited about the opportunity to join your team. Please let me know if you need any additional information. Best regards," then add your name.
Perfect. Short, professional, and polite.
Exactly. And that little email can make a big difference.
Okay, we've covered so much today, but before we wrap up, I want to share one final bonus tip that will make you sound even more like a native speaker, so stay with us till the end.
All right, let's quickly recap everything we learned today.
First, when you walk into the interview, greet the interviewer with, "Hello, it's nice to meet you. Thank you for having me."
Second, when they ask, "Tell me about yourself," keep it short and focused. Talk about your current job, your experience, and why you're interested in the new position.
Third, when talking about your strengths, always back them up with real examples. Don't just say you're good at something, prove it.
Fourth, when talking about weaknesses, be honest, but show that you're working on improving. That shows self-awareness.
Fifth, never give one-word answers. Always explain and give examples. Every question is a chance to tell your story.
Sixth, always have questions ready for the interviewer. Ask about the role, the team, and the company culture.
And finally, close strong. Thank them for their time, express your enthusiasm, and send a thank you email within 24 hours.
Yes, those are the key takeaways.
Okay, and if you follow these tips, you're going to sound so much more natural and confident in your next English interview.
Okay, here's the bonus tip I promised.
Ooh, what is it?
So, native speakers use a lot of linking words in interviews to make their answers flow better. Words like actually, basically, honestly, and to be honest.
Oh, yes, these make you sound more natural and fluent.
Exactly. So instead of saying, "My biggest strength is communication," you say, "Honestly, I think my biggest strength is communication."
Or instead of saying, I'm excited about this job, you say, to be honest, I'm really excited about this job.
Right. It just sounds more conversational and less robotic.
So listeners, start adding these little words into your answers. Actually, basically, honestly, to be honest.
They're small, but they make a big difference.
All right, everyone, that's it for today's episode. We covered a lot, didn't we?
We really did. But remember, the key to sounding natural in an English interview is practice.
Exactly. Don't just listen to this episode once. Come back to it. Practice the phrases out loud. Record yourself if you can.
Yes, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Every mistake is a chance to learn and improve.
Absolutely. And remember, you've got this. You're working hard to improve your English, and that's amazing.
So go out there and nail that interview. You're going to do great.
And hey, we'd love to hear from you. In the comments below, tell us which phrase from today's lesson are you going to use in your next interview.
Yes, please share. We read all your comments and we love hearing about your progress.
And if you found this episode helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a new lesson.
Next time, we're going to talk about how to make small talk in English like a native speaker, so stay tuned for that.
Until then, keep practicing, keep learning, and keep being awesome.
See you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye!